Welcome to Fanalize This. I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
And I'm Anthony Perry.
Hold on, AP. Let me fanalize this for you real quick.
Tell 24 to pass the ball.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's not what I'm talking about, man.
Welcome to Fanalize This. It's Thursday, October 24th. I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, this is Sad AP.
It's Sad AP. I'm Eric V. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, man, we got a big show today. We're going to talk about Week 8 in the NFL, UFC 166 results from this past Saturday. We'll talk a little NHL. Fantasy football if we got time. The NBA is only 5 days away. I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah.
But logically, we got to start with the Fall Classic. Yeah, I had to change it up for you a little bit. I just didn't feel right playing summertime during the Fall Classic. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's not fall. I mean, it's not summer anymore, so I understand it.
Yeah, well, let's start with a sad version of AP over here today.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, but you know what? Eric made me happy because he paid a little something, and it's a little lovely sandwich that he brought in for me because his Pittsburgh Pirates / LA Dodgers / have lost. And he brought me a nice sandwich that is easing my pain, so I got to appreciate him there. But I got to tell you, last night's game broke my heart. I thought David Cosman and the Cardinals would play a lot better, but, man, their defense looked horrible last night.
Well, at least Beltran did something that Torrey Hunter couldn't do, was stop a grand slam.
Oh.
Yeah, but I understand. I understand he hurt his ribs when he made that catch on the fence, man.
That's called karma, what they did to Henry Ramirez.
Well, I don't know if that's karma, but it could play a role.
The story, obviously, of last night's game was Beltran robbing the grand slam might have been the best thing that ever happened to Boston. Because if Beltran can't come back, is this over in what, 4 or 5? Maybe not a sweep, but I think this is over in 5 if Beltran can't come back.
I got to tell you, I love Beltran and what he does because he's a switch hitter, and if he can't swing from the left side, you're right, it's going to be a little different for them. But because Alan Craig came back yesterday and they're going against 3 righties the next 3 consecutive games for Boston, we'll find out how much he's missed. Because the Cardinals hits better against righties.
If Beltran does come back, he's still got a bat from the left-hand side.
Right, but I don't know what side he hurt in the way he swings.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So I'm not sure yet, and I'm sure he's going to take swings today. But when I look at the Cardinals, they are a team that was 5 games under 500 against lefties, but against righties, they just dominated them. So we'll find out, what they look like. But what really disappointed me was, like Adam Wainwright said, he was off 9 days, and he just couldn't control anything yesterday. So mentally, he wasn't prepared. Physically, he said he couldn't find his slot to throw. So tonight's big game with Michael Wacha is going to be huge.
Maybe your boy Wainwright should have had gummy bears on his glove like John Lester did.
Is that what he had?
I don't know. I'm just making a joke.
Well, he probably had all the clear ones taped to his glove, that's for sure, because it looked really clear. So
Lester threw a very good game because just listening to the game, he was in and out with his whatever that pitch was. They said it was like a backdoor cutter or something. Yeah. That guy was outside, went over the heart of the plate, and you can't tell by angles when we're watching TV. Right. But when I'm listening to announcers and they're telling me this ball's in the heart of the plate and these guys are watching it, I'm like, oh, man, were they mesmerized yesterday? But they're going against Lackey today, so it's going to be interesting. If Lackey's throwing that ball across the plate from a right side, we'll find out what the Cardinals are made of.
Real quick, for those of you who are under a rock and missed it, Boston won Game 1 8-1. The only run from the Cardinals was a Holiday home run in the 9th off Ryan Dempster.
Against a pitcher that they know very well.
Right,
like
very
Peavy.
well.
Yeah, Peavy, that's right.
Yeah, so now we're talking about this game, too, which is tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, it's late for you guys on the East Coast. But Wacha versus Lackey, I really like this matchup, but there's things about this matchup I hate, and I got to point that out real quick. As an Angels fan, Wacha, of course, being the consolation draft pick we sent to St. Louis after the Pujols signing. He was the 12th overall. That's a pitcher we could have had.
Actually, he was a 19th pick.
19th? Okay, that's what it is. And then also John Lackey, a guy that we got rid of because him and Sosha had a pissing contest.
Is that what it was?
There's 2 very good pitchers starting Game 2 of the World Series tonight that, could have been Angels. Yeah, and we're sitting there 6 games under 500 and watching football.
It's really strange. But the Angels still could have had this guy.
Yeah.
What got me was he's a 19th pick in that draft, which was after the regular draft, I would imagine. So I'm like, all these teams passed on him, and the Cardinals got him 19th. So I don't know. It's one of those things where some people like what he had earlier on because he was a shortstop, and they turned him into a pitcher. Just like my boy, my closer was a shortstop.
I knew that. I didn't know that about Waka, though. Wow.
So you're talking about guys, man, that they do very well with and low round. So it's going to be interesting, how he looks tonight. So if he looks good, I say the Cardinals win tonight 5-2.
5-2.
Wow.
5-2. He even threw a score
4-1. 4-2, 5-1.
And you do realize Beltran is more likely than not going to play tonight.
On the show.
Wow.
Bruised ribs. And I say because I think Craig is going to play better or hit better. And then I think that the big boy at first base, Adams, will come in a little bigger. So I'm just hoping that, they get the rhythm back.
So the games in Fenway, Craig has been DHing, and Adams is still playing first?
Right.
Okay. What are you going to do, though, once it goes back to St. Louis?
They said it all depends.
It's a nice problem to have, but what do you do?
They said it all depends on how his ankle feels trying to play first base. If it is, he's starting. If not, he's going to be a pinch hitter. And Adams is coming off.
That would be tough for him to just be a pinch hitter. You know what I mean?
Not really. Not really. And I say because...
Did you see him play last night? How many hits did he get?
I don't know. I know he was 1 for 3 earlier in the game, so I don't know if he ended up 2 for 4, 1 for 4.
I know he struck out looking. So that I watched.
But I got to say, everybody struck out against Lester because he struck out at least 8 or 9 people last night. So, and they were looking at pitches. They weren't swinging and missing.
Yeah, I saw
they were
that.
looking at pitches and missing. So,
if you look at the box score, though, St. Louis didn't really get out-hit. I think it was 8 hits for Boston, 7 for St. Louis. It was the defense of this Cardinals team that did you guys in yesterday. 3 errors?
3 errors.
Wow.
And one they didn't want to call, which was a center fielder dropping the ball twice that Poppy scored from first base. That has to be the only time in the history of baseball a man that big running around the bases scored on a double.
In the history
Napoli,
of ever.
That's the double from Napoli? Okay.
Right. He should have been at third at the most, and he dropped that ball once or twice, and I thought, come on, guys. Are we that nervous?
Yeah,
So
Poppy scoring from first, that's
Well,
definitely someone did something wrong.
How many Cardinals are on that team from the 11 season?
Not a lot.
No, a lot of them
Yeah.
from the 11 season.
Right.
None from the 6th season. Only 2 from the 6th season. But from the 11th season, pretty much the whole team except for Waka and
Adams.
Yeah, and Adams that I can think of right
Beltran
now.
wasn't there 2 years ago already,
No,
was he?
Beltran. That's right. He wasn't. He was there last year.
That's right,
He
because
signed
that
a
was his
2-year
first World
contract.
Series game last night.
Right, but you had the center fielder was there, the left fielder was there, Freeze, was there.
Right.
The shortstop came up in 12, so he wasn't there. Descalzo was there, Molina was there, Wainwright was there, Lynn was there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Renteria playing short in 11?
No,
that was 06.
No.
That was the 6? Okay.
That was 06.
Mixing up teams.
He was splitting time with.
No, he was in 4. Wintery was gone in 06. He was there in 04
Okay.
when they played Boston.
It's hard to get, or it's easy to get all the Boston World Series, or Boston. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's try that again. It's easy to get all the different Cardinal World Series teams confused because they seem to be like they're in the World Series every other year, and that's just why I'm sick of them. It's not a personal thing against you. It's just every year it's the Cardinals, it's the Yankees. Like, I got to go against them. I mean.
But you know what? They're not a big city team, and they're not a big payroll team.
But it's a baseball town.
It is. That's all they have. They have the Arch and the Cardinals.
Oh, I read an interesting article about St. Louis. Apparently, it's the best place to go to a baseball game looking for women who love baseball.
Looks like we're all going to St. Well, I can't go, but you guys can go.
Groundbreaking stuff on Sports Nation. Thanks, Marcellus.
And I got to tell you, one other thing they're known for, and you got to try it if you're ever in the Midwest, is fried ravioli.
Fried ravioli.
That sounds
wow.
delicious.
It is so interesting. I've never had it before in my life, and my sister said you got to try it. And I went downtown, and I had fried ravioli, and it was delicious.
What do they serve it with? The same marinara sauce?
They have marinara sauce that you can dip it in.
So is it breaded and then dipped?
It is fried ravioli. They take the raviolis and drop them in oil.
Just
and
like
it is
that?
delicious. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
it's so good.
That's making me hungry.
Sounds like I got to practice at home.
And Buck, and we went to Buck's restaurant downtown, so it was great. But go ahead.
Okay, so who pitches in Game 3? That's what I wanted to get to.
Joe Kelly.
And Buchholz?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. So
But
Boston.
no, I think so.
Is
I
it
think
Buchholz?
Buchholz because they flip flopped it. It was going to be Lackey, so I imagine it's going to be Buchholz.
Right. Okay.
And then Pavey pitches in for Game 4 against Lynn.
All right. Let's just get the opinions. Do the Red Sox head out on the road up 2-0? I think they do.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
Wow, it's going to be 1-1. I have St. Louis winning in 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. This whole time I thought you had Boston.
No. I had Boston. I had Detroit. And since Boston beat Detroit, I had to go with St. Louis.
I'm glad this is like XM and some words can slip through.
Right. So anyways, for me, the Beltran injury is huge. I think Boston in 5. But they win tonight also.
You think
2-0.
so?
Yeah, they do.
What do you think the score might be?
Tonight?
Yeah.
2-1 final. Again, it's Waka pitching.
You think Lackey's going to pitch that well?
I do.
Well, he has
Lackey
pitched
has
that
looked
way
really,
before.
really well since coming back from the Tommy John last season. And, I mean, we know as Angels fans here that he's clutch in the big game.
This is true. This is his second World Series.
It is.
Well, yeah, plus he was a Game 7 winner in 2002.
Again, that
played
game
against the Giants, so it didn't matter.
Oh, I see. So
from Fenway will be on Fox tonight at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Let's talk some basketball.
Yo.
Oh, man. We are just 5 days away from the NBA season tipping off.
Man,
Lakers.
It looks good out there. Who you liking? Really?
Who am I liking overall?
Yeah.
Miami to three-peat.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Lakers player.
Okay, we're talking not fantasy. We're talking about real deal.
Here we go. You guys don't even have a basketball team, so don't even start.
You guys. What are you talking about, you guys?
Yeah,
I got a Laker
this guy,
tattoo on my
St.
shin.
St. Louis.
Oh, okay. When you say you guys, it's like, oh, I'm in this booth, too.
Well, I figure he's speaking for all the St. Louis people when he says that, so that's why I say
No.
guys.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it in a real sense because I'm looking at people talk about Miami. Some people talk about Indiana, maybe dethroning them. Some people talk about the Clippers.
Well, Chicago.
Houston.
I want to touch on the Pacers real quick, though. I heard something actually that I agreed with 100% from Stephen A. the other morning. They're one piece away from being the dominant team in the East. If Granger looks at all like the old Danny Granger, you trade that guy and go get a point guard, and Miami's got some trouble.
But don't you think, let's say without a point guard, without a great point guard, how many great point guards has won the championship recently?
Well, I'm not saying
Derek Fisher.
I'm not saying that
Great
to win a championship you need to have a great point guard. I'm just saying that's the piece that Indiana, to me, is missing right now. The one piece, if anything.
You think he just needs to be able to hit a 15-foot jumper every now and then?
Or,
It could happen.
create plays for your teammate. I mean, those are some big boys in the front court for Indiana.
Well,
Roy Hibbert's 7'3".
Well, that's why I'm saying it. You look at Indiana; they got to be the tallest team, the longest team in basketball.
Oh, and what
right?
was it Stephen A. said? He said, and David West is 6'10" with muscles coming out of his ears. That's a big front court right there.
I was going to say they got the biggest and maybe the most talented front court collectively.
The biggest rising star in the NBA.
Right. So I'm
In
looking
Paul
at them,
George.
and I'm thinking the point guard really just has to handle his own. I don't think he really has to score 10, 12 points a game. I think he just has to be able to hit a shot free throw extended somewhere from that elbow every now and then to keep teams honest so they don't, come down on their big men and double team them. So I'm looking at Indiana like, how do you really beat them? Do you get them in foul trouble to beat them? Because I thought they had a great chance to beat Miami last year, and they fell a game short. So you're talking about that's the next up-and-coming team. I don't know about Chicago because Eric V's talking about Chicago. I don't think they have
for
enough.
the East, anyway.
Yeah, well,
They got
having
two
Rose
Rose
back
coming
is huge, but where's that extra shooter now? It's Mike Dunleavy Jr. is the guy that's going to create offense for Chicago
Well,
outside
look,
of D. Rose?
They still got Boucher. They still have Dang, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and they got who's their center?
Noah.
Noah.
Okay, well then you know what? As long as
But
D.
they
Rose
let
is back in
Bellinelli
shape-
go to San Antonio. Now that guy that you're going to rely to kick out passes to shoot three-pointers for you is Mike Dunleavy Jr. I mean,
Give him a break.
no
give him a
disrespect to
shot.
Mike Dunleavy Jr., but you can't compete with Indiana and Miami if that's your starting two.
Well, look, I'm sure they'll figure a way out. But I think, if anything, Chicago should be number 2 in that division come the end of the year.
So you think in that conference, you're telling me in the Eastern Conference, to Miami, Chicago is the second best overall team.
Should be.
I think they're the best defensive team.
I think
And
they're
I
the
think-
fourth best overall team in the East. I think Brooklyn looks better than them, too.
You know,
Really?
I have to
Wow.
see Brooklyn play before
haven't
I
seen
say that.
Brooklyn
I haven't
play.
seen because to me the preseason doesn't matter as long as you come out healthy and as a unit you're good. I want to see what Boston. I want to say Boston. Boston South, I guess, is what Brooklyn is. I want to see what they look like
Boston
because the
South.
pieces to me, I like Joe, but I don't know how well Joe's going to be able to mesh with Pierce on the floor. Who's going to get those plays to score those buckets? You know, how will they compete? I'm thinking it's almost like Kobe and Shaq at moments. Who's going to get the ball?
You talking about Joe Johnson?
Joe Johnson.
All you got to do is run to the corner and hoist up threes like you did your years in Phoenix. He'll be all right.
Well, in Atlanta.
Excellent three-point shooter.
No doubt.
No, you don't remember? He was on the
06 team?
the Mike D'Antoni teams in Phoenix with Amare and Steve Nash, those teams.
Yeah,
all he did, run to the corner, make threes. Run to the corner, make threes.
I really like him as just a shooter. Don't worry about the game. Don't try to go one-on-one with people. Just set up and shoot, as you say. But Paul Pierce is a guy, to me, he's semi-Kobe-ish in his older stage because he's a little dark hole where he grabs the ball and he's massaging it. That's what I'm saying. I wonder how the teams are going to mesh. Pardon?
Nothing. Go on.
So wait, they still got Chris Humphries, or he's on Boston now, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Okay, well, again, I still think Chicago's got a very, very great chance to at least finish number 2 in the conference. Notwithstanding Indiana, guys, all right? Notwithstanding, but you also got to watch out for the Pelicans.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually an honest statement. I agree with that. I think the Pelicans are going to be a good team this year.
Aren't they in the West?
No, they shouldn't be in the West.
New Orleans Pelicans is in the West. That's right. It's the Bobcats that are in the East.
It's the Bobcats.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
However, though, I do think the Pelicans will be a good team this year, possibly playoffs.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Nolan should be doing all right.
No, Nolan's not playing.
It's New Orleans Pelicans, dude.
Oh, I thought you said Noel.
No. Speaking of that,
didn't he get benched for the year?
Yeah, Philly traded away Drew Holiday and a first-round pick next year to get Nerlens Noel. He will not be playing basketball this season.
They're redshirting him in the pros.
Yeah. Well, the Clippers did that with Blake Griffin. It's not like it's unheard of.
Well, they didn't redshirt Blake. He got hurt.
He didn't play his entire rookie season.
But I'm saying at the beginning of the season, he got hurt, where Noel had surgery last March or something.
No, Blake's rookie year, he didn't play one game for the Clippers. He missed his entire rookie season.
I thought he got hurt in preseason.
Well, that's preseason. He didn't play a regular game his rookie year.
Right. No, but I'm saying redshirt. This guy had surgery some time ago, and he's not playing because he's not strong enough. Because he's injured. It's because he's not strong enough. This guy is 6'10" and weighs 120 pounds.
Soaking wet with boots on.
Or at least some Converse, right?
Yeah, I heard them talking about that. That's the only reason he's not playing, because they feel like he's not strong enough. They want to make sure and take it cautiously with his knee. But they said this guy just has to get 20 or 30 pounds, 30, 40 pounds added to his frame.
You should just go hang out at your house.
Not my house. Your house. Your house is where all that bread is.
It's not just the bread. It's just the cooking, period. So
yeah. I want to mention something about opening night, because we've actually talked about all these teams so far. Next Tuesday, 29th, the NBA season kicks off. There's a doubleheader on TNT. It starts at 5. It's the Bulls that Eric V just talked about, being hosted by the world champion Miami Heat, who I think will be going 3 in a row.
That will be a great game.
Should be.
Oh, that will be a great game, no doubt about it. And then in the late game,
LA.
Clippers at Lakers, which, I don't know what the at means anymore. And now they're talking about putting
with or without banners,
putting banners up over the Lakers championship banners when it's a Clipper home game. I mean, I get it. It's your house too, but you're putting a banner of J.J. Redick up over Magic Johnson's retired jersey.
Well, I understand.
Bad form,
it's a
Clippers.
Why can't they just put it on the other side?
What's wrong with that?
No, because you walk into a place and it says the Lakers all over everywhere, and it's a Clipper home game.
Put a championship banner up
there. They could have stayed at Honda
talk.
Center in Anaheim. Why didn't they?
They should have.
They should have. Get your own house. Don't complain about it.
But what I heard is actually the Kings are the number one renter or owner or facilitator in that piece where all 3 teams rotate. It's the Kings are the number one team.
Yeah, because
the
they
Lakers
charge
have
more
the
for
most
their
winning.
tickets.
The Lakers have the most winning.
Are you serious? Kings tickets are more than Laker tickets?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Did not know that.
Yeah, hockey's a
very expensive sport. You ever been to a hockey game?
Yeah, not in several seasons though.
Yeah, but you go
just by default, every game I've been to has been a Red Wings and Ducks game, and I'm not a fan of either team.
No kidding.
But I've been to 3 games, and all 3 were Detroit and Anaheim.
Wow.
Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, hockey's very expensive, so I can see why the Kings are.
Yeah, they're the number one
where they are. Yeah.
So going back to this doubleheader on opening night, obviously we know Miami-Chicago is going to be a good game. I got Miami in this one.
Oh, that's going to be good. I don't know what Chicago looks like. I don't know if they have enough firepower. And that's the thing.
Well,
but I like your boy, though. Miami, I believe, is going to win the game.
I'll take Chicago.
But I think it's going to be a toss-up.
Okay, now that Battle of Los Angeles in the late game, still no Kobe.
It's going to have to be – I'm going to have to take the
Clippers.
Lakers.
Clippers by 40.
By 40? Oh, my good. I'll bet a sandwich by 40, dude.
No, I can't give you back one of your free sandwiches. I just can't do that. But no, I look at that and I seriously say, didn't the Clippers beat the Lakers by like 20 points a game?
Something like that. It was pretty bad last season.
You think the Lakers got that much better with Kobe not playing?
Well, they beat San Antonio. So
that's not the question.
Kobe.
I'm just saying that's not the question.
And they just added other players.
There's a couple things the Clippers did in the offseason, though, that I didn't like, though. The trade that sent Bledsoe to, he's in, Phoenix now, right? And now you're back at point guard as Darren Collison. Like that, Watch out for that one. If Chris Paul gets hurt or gets in foul trouble or anything like
that.
that.
At all?
I know I like him a lot. I'm a UCLA Bruins basketball fan.
Okay.
However, that's a big differential from CP3 down to Darren Collison. That's a big difference there.
And you're absolutely right.
And compared to Eric Bledsoe, I think it's a big difference, too. I think Bledsoe is much better than Collison.
But the plus-minus is I don't think Collison turns the ball over as much as Bledsoe.
That's a good point.
Bledsoe flies up and down the court, and he turns the ball over almost every other time he has it. So that's how I look at how that balances out. He was just a guy that was fast but couldn't control it. So it's going to be interesting. I like the Clippers, and the Clippers have 2 ex-Lakers on it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they play now.
What happened to Odom?
That's a whole another story.
Hey, Lamar, come on now.
Lamar's in rehab.
Still?
Oh, he's with Chloe?
Oh, my God, no, he did not just say that.
Yeah.
So
that just happened.
Or is he on TMZ? I mean, where is it? Where is he? I haven't seen a signing lately.
Anyways, one more time, the NBA season, regular season kicks off next Tuesday, doubleheader,
TNT?
5 p.m. on TNT.
All right.
I don't have cable, so I have to listen to it on the radio.
Take a quick break. We'll talk Week 8 in the NFL.
Can I help you? Can I help you? What do you do? I do it all. Have a seat. I will because that's something I can do. Do something. Do something. I am. I did. What did you do? It's already done. What did you do? I helped you. Are you drunk? Not drunk enough.
All right. Week 8 in the NFL now.
Wow.
We went a little long with basketball, so let's kind of blow through these ones real quick. Standard format, we'll go through the Sunday games, Monday night, and finish up with tonight's game.
Just so you guys know, my wife had the best picks last week.
Yeah, she's, did pretty well, and
she took 2 nice pictures.
All right, let's point it out. She went 11-4, beating all of us, so props to Eric V's wife on that one. However, I went 10-5. I beat you guys
Good
again.
job, Joe.
AP went 8-7, Eric V 7-8.
Finished on the bottom again.
Okay, so here we go. The London game, San Francisco and Jacksonville. Come on, San Francisco.
Come on, San Francisco.
Okay, right.
SF, yes.
Obviously. Okay. Dallas at Detroit. I'm going to go Detroit in this one.
I'm going. You said San Francisco? Oh, you said Dallas.
Dallas at Detroit.
Give me Detroit.
Last week we thought Megatron was still banged up. I think he had 27 fantasy points. So Detroit, they're back. Going with the Lions. Giants at Philly. Stay with me now. I'm going with the Giants.
This is where
for
we
3 in a
separate.
row.
This is where we separate. I'm taking Philly. Vic is back.
Oh, this is tough.
And Deshaun should run better when Vic is in the game.
I'll take Philly, too.
2 Phillies. All right, well, Cleveland at Kansas City. I think, like I said last week, the Chiefs go 9-0 through the bye week. So do we even need to say this?
No.
The Chiefs look really, really
We're all
good.
Chiefs here.
Yeah.
And that defense, ridiculous, right? The 2 guys I talked to you about last week, Tomahawk Lee, Brandon Flowers, came up big. Yeah. Chiefs, best team in the NFL. Worst team in the NFL last year. Isn't that crazy?
Jacksonville was the worst team last
Oh, that's
year.
right. You guys had 2 wins. I forgot about your second win. Yeah.
And we still got the number 1 pick out of that one. Imagine that.
Right? Okay, Buffalo at New Orleans. Got to go with the Saints here.
The Saints.
Come march.
Buffalo did beat Miami last week, but the Dolphins aren't the Saints. Okay, speaking of Miami at New England, got to go against the Dolphins on this one. They let me down. Actually, we all picked them last week, and we all got let down by them, so I'm going Patriots.
All the way.
And Gronk's back also.
Give me Miami.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Where are they playing the game?
The game's at New England.
Yeah, give me New England.
Yeah.
This guy's a home team fanatic.
Actually, when I made my picks earlier today, there's only 4 road teams I'm picking this week.
Wow.
Yeah, I went with a lot of
teams are
homers.
at least a field goal, I think.
Right.
Or more.
Jets at Bengals. I don't think the Jets should have beat the Patriots. That was kind of a lame call, first time that flag's been thrown. And apparently, I was told by a Patriots fan that the Jets did the same thing during a field goal in that game. So, yeah, they can't hang with the Bengals. Bengals looked really impressive last week against Detroit.
I got the Bengals, too.
Give me the Jets, sorry.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
just going everything other than what I did last week.
Pittsburgh at Oakland. This is one of the, like last week, you said you weren't choosing with your head, but with your heart. I got Oakland beating Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I figured that. I mean, I know I should pick Pittsburgh, but obviously I'm a Raider fan. Washington at Denver. I think RG3 is back to the RG3 of last year, but I think Denver bounces back from the loss against Indianapolis.
Denver.
Yeah. Atlanta at Arizona. I'm going Arizona with this one. Atlanta, we talked last week how they had no weapons left, and Jaquiz goes off in fantasy. Harry Douglas, who no one picked up, went off also. He had a great game, and all we did last week about the Falcons was talk about how they had no offense left. Also, Steven Jackson's coming back, so they'll get a little bit of running game going. However,
Atlanta.
I got to go with Arizona.
Where are they playing?
At Arizona.
I'm taking Arizona.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
I'm the Atlanta guy. There you go.
Green Bay at Minnesota. This game's a joke to me, so is the next one. Green Bay destroys Minnesota.
Easy.
Yeah, even with all the injuries, it doesn't matter. This is a horrible Monday night game. I'm sure when they made the schedule, this looked like it could be decent, but Seattle at St. Louis. Of course, Sam Bradford's gone down for the rest of the year, so...
You know, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. St. Louis last week actually called up 44-year-old Brett Favre and offered him the quarterback job, and he turned it down. That's how bad things are for the Rams right
So
now.
I'll take Seattle.
Definitely Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
And rounding things up is tonight's game, which should... God, these last three are snoozers. Carolina should house Tampa Bay, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Who's their quarterback at Tampa Bay?
Don't matter.
Mike Glennon. Russell Wilson's caddy.
Crap. Just give me Carolina then.
Carolina's defense is better than people talk about.
Yeah, it sure is, actually, yeah.
Well, we'll see how we do this week, and maybe next week we'd have a different order, because you know it's gone myself, AP, and Eric V.
Yeah.
Both weeks that we've done this. So, we'll see what happens.
Look at that. Wow.
Well, we got a little bit of time left. What do you say? Little hockey?
You know what's funny? I haven't even watched one hockey game this year. I haven't
Yeah,
even heard it on the radio.
To be honest, I haven't yet either, so we're just going to do like we've done in the past two shows, just kind of blow through this. Best team in hockey right now, San Jose Sharks are 8-0-1.
Wow.
Eric V's Anaheim Ducks 7-2. The Kings not looking so hot, starting off at 6-4. Colorado under Patrick Waugh, first-year head coach, 8-1. They've looked really impressive. AP's Blues have fallen off, 5-1-1, and my Penguins are 7-2.
Well, you say they're falling off. They have one loss and an overtime loss. That's only 2 losses. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. That's why they made the list of.
Oh, okay.
Here's the
That's
teams that are
what
looking
we're
good.
talking
Plus, we're in Los Angeles, so there's the
I
Kings
understand.
6-4 record.
Okay.
All right. Again, early in the season, we don't quite care yet. There's something I do want to talk about before we run out of time. Okay, so UFC 166 was Saturday night. Main event, Junior Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez, Part 3. Each of their losses in the UFC have been to each other. The fight got stopped in the 5th round. There was a cut that was pretty bad Dos Santos had, but there was one point where he pretty much just he fell over on his face, and the ref had to stop it. It got to the point where he couldn't intelligently defend himself, which is why they stop it. So Cain Velasquez with the win, beating Dos Santos for the second time.
But
A fight I did not see, though, that I need to talk about, because I've been hearing about it from everyone. I watched it this morning. It's up on our Facebook page, Fanalize This, at facebook.com. The Melendez and Diego Sanchez fight. Just go watch it. Do yourself a favor if you haven't seen it. It's the most epic battle I've ever seen.
Is it 3 rounds or 5?
This one actually went 3 rounds. That's right.
Okay. Because you know I'm not into UFC.
well,
so
I heard
gotta
it.
get
I
into
heard it was like one of the greatest fights ever.
Yes, it's already being called Fight of the Year
Even
and one of the
though-
best fights
Even
ever.
though Melendez whooped Diego. That's what I heard. But it was such a great fight. That's what I heard. I haven't seen it, but I heard so much about it, so it makes me want to go see it.
When you say a great fight in this sport, you're just about a lot of contact, a lot of punches thrown.
It was a very exciting fight. I mean, some of the best fights are the ones where the crowd's booing and they don't understand all the grappling and jiu-jitsu that's going on, but this was one of the most exciting fights ever of all time. For UFC fans out there, it's the only thing I could really compare it to is the Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner finale for, what was that, Ultimate Fighter 1, where they just, blocked punches with their faces and just traded for 3 rounds.
Block punches with their.
But yeah, it's a great fight, and again, the Melendez-Sanchez fight is up on the Facebook Fanalize This page.
Congratulations, Velasquez.
Yeah, I picked him too. Okay.
Here we go.
Now, we've mentioned before on this show that the 3 of us and 5 other colleagues are in a fantasy football league.
You got to bring this up now. dude.
Well, actually, it's funny to me because the 3 of us who do a sports show, do you know who's 6 through 8? in our league right now?
I know who's seventh. I know who's seventh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
6,
me
7, and
all
8
day.
is the three of us. Actually,
I'm number 8, dude. Can you believe that? I've only got 2 wins.
Joe, you moved up to 6?
no, I beat the crap out of Eric this week.
Congratulations.
You know, that's fine, guys. That's fine.
We're all 3 2 and 5 though at this point, right?
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. You know, my other leagues though, which I've done ESPN leagues before, and I have a better understanding of that scoring. I'm doing well in both of those.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to understand how this is working out. I thought I had some decent players from week to week. They're terrible, and I've lost 2 guys for injury for the season.
We
So
all
I'm done.
have. Look, I got 3 guys on injury reserve. I'm my guy, dude.
Yeah, big injuries this week. As a matter of fact, my bench in that league we were just talking about, every player on my bench either is injured or has a bye week.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is when you have a guy injured and he's a star player and you can't trade him or drop him.
Right.
Oh, that's right,
I
you
have
can't
2 of
cut
those.
Oh, man.
I can't do anything with him. So
Damn
I'm
you,
done.
keeper league.
That's all right. You know what? It's my first fantasy football league. I don't really care what happens as long as I got a win over no
Words
puns
of a
intended.
loser.
And who else? Who else did I beat? I beat Jay No.
You should be able to know you have only beat 2 people.
Wait, Jay, okay, it's been a while since I won, so I couldn't remember.
Oh, wow. Well,
Is that the end of it?
that just about does it, actually.
Oh, wow.
I just want to remind everyone, as always, go to Fanalize This at Facebook, like it, share it with your friends. You can hear any past shows on Spreaker.com. All the shows are up on YouTube as well. I want to thank Eric V for joining us again.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. I know I get a little loud, but, you know, it's all for the good.
AP, anything you want to add?
Oh man, I just want to say it's going to be great tonight. Cardinals are going to even it out 1-1. So stay tuned. Tell a friend about the show. Finalize this. Yes, sir.
Go
On Spreaker.com.
Great job, guys. Thanks again.
For Fanalize This, I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, this is Anthony Perry.
Eric V here.
Peace. Fucking things have gone like that.